Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio Works. And today I'm here with the amazing Dr. Cheryl Chapman. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome.
Hello, Kim. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Yes, hello, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Let me just check where I am. Oh no, I'm in the UK.
Yeah,
I'm in Europe.
fantastic. You haven't been very much, have you? You've been off travelling all around.
I know. I did a little recce. I tried to work out how many days I'd been at home this year. Bear in mind that we're now in August, aren't we? And I mean, I've been at home for the last. Well, that's quite good. But I think before that, I'd probably been at home for 6 weeks, I think, in the year, odd days here and there. Yeah, I mean, I'd been in London for some of the time, so not too far away. But this year, where have I been? I'm just trying to do a quick recall on where I've been this year. So I've been in Europe quite a lot, and I went to Senegal, and I went to Australia. And I think that's been it for this year. I haven't ventured towards America or Canada this year. It was the back end of last year, and in South Africa. South Africa was back end of last year as well. So it's been a little bit closer to home, of course, with the exception of Australia, which is... and of course I've been in the Middle East quite a lot because that's where my husband lives now. So I have been there doing some business and also taking some time out to be with Mr. C. Otherwise, you might forget all about me, right? But today's Yorkshire Day. Happy Yorkshire Day. Happy Yorkshire Day to everybody. So,
Happy Yorkshire Day.
Yeah, so it just felt right to be in Yorkshire today. Before I go off on my travels again, yeah, actually going to be.
What do you do?
What do you do on Yorkshire Day? If I'm really honest with you, I didn't know there was a Yorkshire Day until about 7 days ago, when I saw a poster that said something about Happy Yorkshire Day. Now then, have a really good day. That's what it said on the poster. Which translated for anybody who's not in Yorkshire is, hello, what about having a great day on Yorkshire Day?
Or every day.
Yeah, exactly. And then I noticed that my sister posted about it being Yorkshire Day today. And actually, she's probably more entitled to do that because she was born in Yorkshire. I was actually born over the Pennines in Lancashire, Yorkshire, for quite some time. So I've been off travelling, but I've been at this home in Yorkshire for the last week. I've not been on my own though. I've been with the lovely Dr. Marion Berrington, and we've been working on the project Find Your Why Foundation. We had our first anniversary party, not the Saturday just gone, but the one before, which was brilliant because we had loads of wise women, WHY, women who found their why. And also wise men came along with some of them brought their partners. That was really good. We had a good kind of party atmosphere because I used to be an Anne Summers rep many years ago, a lot of years ago, and so we were trying to bring the fun side of it. There was nothing to do with sex toys. It wasn't vibrators. It was good vibrations on this particular occasion, and we did like a raffle and a bingo game, which is very northern, isn't it? But we did that for prizes, and all of the profits from the raffle and the draw went to cystic fibrosis, which is a charity that's very, very close to my heart because my lovely cousin Lindsay died from cystic fibrosis at the age of 27. But she's one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I believe when you're on stage, when you've got a platform to speak from, then you can keep people alive. Because she just had a great attitude to life. One of her sayings was, I'd rather have 5 minutes of wonderful than a lifetime of regret. And so, when you hear people moaning about the weather or complaining about things, I just think, well, I know someone who would like to be alive right now. So kind of puts it into perspective, if that makes sense. Yeah.
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 Yeah. No.
Yes, I've been working.
I just sorry. Last time I was in Yorkshire, I went to a raffle, and I'm a vegetarian, and they were raffling trays of meat, and they were coming shoving them in my face. No, thanks.
Yeah. Commonly known the meat raffle. The meat raffle. A tray of meat covered. The tray's covered in foil normally, and the top of the meat covered in cling film. Not attractive even for a meat lover, to be honest, most of the time.
Well, so you've had your anniversary, and you've been working with Dr. Marion Bevington for last week. Last time I saw you, I have to talk to you about this, because last time I saw you, you were collecting your doctorate. How exciting is that?
Yeah, it was really exciting, wasn't it? I think just, I've been really, really lucky over the last, I'm just trying to think now, 3 years. So, 5 years ago is when I say that I woke up. And, just for people who were thinking, well, what on earth does that mean? When I was 48 years old, I knew I hated my life. I didn't really like it. I was drinking heavily. Kind of was just what I'd always done, as in going out on a weekend. But the drink had started to sneak into the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights as well. I was on my own a lot because my husband worked away. And I just didn't like what I was doing. It's got nothing really to do with the people that I was working with, because the guy that I was working with actually was, like, we had some good fun, and he knew his why. He knew that his why was to create a business, make some money, but serve a lot of people. So his why was a very good why, if you like. It just wasn't right. So I didn't really know what I didn't know, but I knew I just didn't feel right. And so I went to an event. A guy called Andy Harrington came on stage. I thought he was a bit obnoxious, if I'm really honest, and he was very, very southern. But he looked at me and he said, "If you were to die tomorrow, who would mourn your loss?" And I kind of was like, "Whoa, well, I've got about 43 friends on Facebook, so maybe a few of those will turn up." And then he looked at me again and said, "If that number's a small amount of people, it meant you led a life of insignificance." And that just somewhere in my psyche, body, brain, mind, I don't know, but it really disturbed me. And it made me just think that perhaps the 48 years that I'd had previously were all a bit of a waste, really. And so from then on in, I really went on a journey of self-discovery. And then I remember someone saying to me, "Wow, like, you've changed so much in such a short time with other people." And I remember thinking, who the hell am I? What do I know? I'm a bit of a fake and a fraud, and I can't really help them. But I've not been to, I've not studied, books and written thesis, and like who the hell am I? Why would I even think I could help people? But interestingly enough, I was always the person that all my friends would come to, and my relatives would come to if they'd ever got a problem. And I seemed to manage their lives better than I was doing my own at the time. So once I realised that there was actually a formula and there was a strategy, and it wasn't all hit and miss, and that came from me reading a lot of books and going on a lot of courses and putting some of my own ideas and suggestions together. That's when I started to help other people, on my own and with Marion as well. And so for me, in the last 3 years, I've been very, very grateful and very humbled by the fact that I've received a lot of awards. So I've received a lot of awards for being a radio host, for the book Find Your Why to Become Even More Freaking Awesome that I co-authored with Marion, for being a trainer of the year, for being a female speaker of the year. I did actually win a car when I worked for Ann Summers, but I don't think that comes into the same bracket. And so to get the doctorate, the honorary doctorate, for me was kind of like, just somebody saying, I think this person needs to be recognised for what they do. And I just think that there's such a lack of appreciation of others, but also a lack of appreciation of yourself, really, because when the news first came out, there was there's that little bit of, there's that little bit inside of me that went, me, a doctor? Like, a 53-year-old woman from Yorkshire that's never been to university, what's that all about, but it was such a lovely, lovely, lovely place, wasn't it, Kim? You know, I mean, the energy, the love, and just the people that were there were such fabulous souls, weren't they? And you won an award as well, so that's great, isn't it?
That was a complete shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no conception at all. I was just there as a cheerleader, and
Yeah.
so that was um, yeah, it just melted my heart really. So yeah, lovely. Yeah,
And I
but
think the work that we do, you know, and it's great now with technology that we can speak to each other. You know, you're at one end of the country, I'm at the other end. Well, not quite the other end, but I'm in the middle. You know, and I speak to a lot of my clients. A lot of my clients, I do, you know, sessions with them online. But actually being an entrepreneur, being a coach, being a therapist, you know, most of the time you spend a lot of time on your own. So, you know, you're out there with your best intention. Your clients love you. You know, you get a lot of feedback from your clients saying, oh, you know, that really worked for me. And oh my God, you know, I was working with a girl the other day who really, her self-confidence, her lacking confidence, and she just didn't think anything of herself. And it's termed the Marilyn Monroe syndrome that she had, which is that Marilyn Monroe didn't have a great childhood. And so she was looking for love because she didn't get love from her mother. She was actually her parents because she was adopted. And so all through her life, she went through, you know, if the person who she wanted to love her, i.e. her parents, didn't love her, she wanted everybody to love her. But actually she had lack of confidence. And this young girl that I was working with, I mean, she is beautiful, you know, absolutely beautiful. And working with her and doing what I do, we were able to find out why she had this lack of confidence. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people don't have the confidence in themselves, and it's just really nice for someone to go, do you know what? I think you're doing quite a good job, actually. You know, it's nice to know that it's making an impact in the world in a positive way. And I know when you got your award, you know, that was lovely, because I know that you've done a lot of hard work and helped a lot of people, you know, as well as the immediate people around you. It's kind of like it just helps you reach other people, doesn't it? Which is great, which is fab.
yeah, yeah, no, it's fabulous. Yeah.
Um,
So what next though?
what next? What next? What next,
You're
Cheryl?
working on.
Yeah, I've been
Been
working on a
working on.
couple of things actually. Been working on my new venture. When I say new, it's been around for about a year now. Which is, I've helped thousands of people around the world create their stories, their expert stories, if you like, for positioning themselves, you know, out in the marketplace as, you know, the go-to mechanic, you know, the person who's got the best bottled water in South Africa, you know, mining safety in South Africa, motivational speaking, you know, a bunch of topics, and work with some true, I mean, just amazing people. But what I've also realised is that stories not only connect you emotionally to your audience, but also they can connect you emotionally to other things. And of course, one of the challenges that I had was alcohol. And I realise now that the reason why I had this attachment to alcohol is because I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. I felt very much on my own and very isolated. And of course, being an entrepreneur, you feel that still. But I realised that I was trying to get a feeling that I didn't have when I was a child, because my parents, you know, were both working, and I know that they gave me, you know, the best that they could in terms of, you know, feeding me and homing me, you know, I mean, I'm safe. But my parents did both have to work, and my mum did leave me alone for a little while on a daily basis. And at the time, I remember thinking as I was growing up, oh, that's what's made me very independent. But actually, when I was 5 years old, and 4 and 5 years old, which is when I was being left on my own, the only thing I really wanted was my mother's love. So buying me ice cream or, you know, putting food on the table, for me as a 5-year-old, and it's obviously a different perspective from a 5-year-old's point of view, right? No, but all I wanted was my mum to just sit and hug me all day. I know that's not necessarily, you know, what would have been the best thing, or would it have been? But I really was hankering subconsciously for that connection. And so what happened was, alcohol for me was a way of numbing the pain. I mean, the truth of the matter is alcohol doesn't connect you to anything. I mean, it totally disconnects you from everything. But in my subconscious, you know, I felt the same. It took me away from those feelings of being isolated, let's put it that way. And so now I haven't drunk for 2 years. And the way that I did that was obviously through a process, and I did some work on myself. So now I'm really helping people who are addicted to other things: alcohol, sex, drugs, sausage rolls. That's what I normally say. You know, it could be eating. It could just be anything. I mean, it even could be exercise, because it's anything that you do to take away an emotion. So I'm working with a lot of people with that. I'm using a technique that's called rapid results therapy, RTT for short. It was created by an amazing woman called Marissa Peer. And the majority of our clients only need one session. And then they can be sorted. But also, you know, as I said with the lady that I was working with last week, that's on self-confidence as well. So, yeah, there's a huge I don't know if the word's misdemeanor. Anyway, I'm trying to be clever there, using a posh word on Yorkshire there. There's a huge mystery, because a lot of people say you've got to be in therapy for years. But Marissa created this system. People have a lack of feeling like they're good enough. Or they don't feel that what is out there is available to them, or they feel like they don't fit in. And pretty much most of the problems that we have boil down to one of those three areas. And so what you can do here, and the reason why the story is the connection, is that through hypnotherapy, through regression, we can go back to those scenes where you first told yourself this story that you are not lovable, or that whatever is there is not available to you, or you're different. And we can obviously not change the story, but we can change the way that you put a meaning to that story. And then through a number of techniques, once we go through the process, then you've actually changed the way you look at that story. And it's amazing, amazing, amazing tool. I'm just so thrilled to have come across this. I mean, I've been studying it for 2 years. But yeah, just to see people change, you know, within like 90 minutes in front of your eyes is just like, wow. You know, very, 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 just really grateful to be able to, you know, found this tool and more importantly, be able to use it now. So yes, I've been working on stories, how to change your story, how to share your story, and how to inspire others, because you don't know what you don't know. So we need more people telling us, you know, what they're doing and how it's changing their lives. So I'm super excited about helping that. So I'm offering 23 20-minute consultations, because at the end of the 20 minutes, I'll know whether or not I can help or not. So if anybody's interested in finding out more about that, then please, we can perhaps put a link up on the page. So they can
I think you've got a link on here. We can write your link on, I think. Can you? Maybe only I can do it. But do you have your link available?
I don't have it with me at this moment, but perhaps I can pop it underneath later.
Look on Facebook then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So have you been
up with all the fun? Me, I've just been working on Sovereign magazine for Radio.W.O.R.K.S, and
yeah,
I'm really hoping to continue, and hopefully it should be up soon. But that's what I've been doing.
great.
And anybody who's a story that hasn't given it to me yet, try and send it to me very quickly, and I should still be able to get it in. And if you can send the next 2 days,
Brilliant.
that's all that's left. Then I'm Sorry, you're breaking up.
Did you still have your book out there?
I do still have my out there. In fact, I've not got it. It has to leave me. I've not got it with me. I'm sure you've got yours with you. But yeah, mine's Forever Young, Living It Forward and Paying It Back, my recent one, which is the one that I'm currently working with people with, because it's about looking at their lives and deciding whether they're going the way they're wanting to go. if not, finding tools and things to help them to move in the right direction instead of stagnating or going in a completely wrong direction. Because it's quite easy, I think, to get caught up living sort of day to day and not actually living with any intention, um, or indeed even living within your own core values, which is, I don't think that's very good for people. I think we can quite easily get caught up doing things that don't really suit us, and I don't think that. Yeah, it's not a way to live. You don't feel connected. You don't feel at home in yourself if you're not working in your core values or living in your core
Well, I think
values.
the other thing as well is that I just think that the day goes fast, doesn't it? And then you've done nothing by the time you get to the end of the day. It's like, oh, is that the time, and what happened to that? Whereas if you set out in the morning going, okay, so this is what I'm going to do today, X, Y, Z, then at least by the end of the day, yeah, I achieved all that, tick, 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 tick. I did all those things, and I changed that person's life, and I made a difference, and I had some time for myself, and I had some time for my family. That for me is the way, to make sure that you do whatever you want to do rather than let life happen to you, really.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's very easy to not actually do things that make us feel like decent people and like we're achieving our dreams or whatever. I think, quite easily. And people laugh about the word dreams, but what's the point in living somebody else's dreams? Because somewhere along the line, somebody's got an idea of what they want you to do, and maybe it ought to be you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so have you got your book handy?
No, I came downstairs, so I'm just going to find your become even more freaking awesome.
You rendered it, didn't you, slightly, and you changed it up a little bit, so because it was. Yeah, I've got the original, but so it's been revamped.
Yeah, we've updated it. We've added some more elements in there. I mean, one of the great tools that we use. I mean, when Marion and I get together, we form the Find Your Why, the foundation, Find Your Why Foundation. And Marion's got amazing tools: kinesiology, EFT, B.W.R.K.S, tapping. I mean, all of those, kinesiology, and all those wonderful things that she used on me. But ultimately, I don't know if people are really that bothered about what you use, as long as you get the results with them. But one of the elements that we use where we know we get profound results is what we call our genetic blueprint process. And this is based on ancient wisdom mixed with modern day science. I mean, and it really opened my eyes. I remember when Marion first introduced me to it, I was like, oh, here we go, some sort of woo-woo stuff. Do you know what I mean? But then when I went to train on it, and this guy in America basically told me who I was, and I'd never met him before. And Marion actually didn't know him because I purposely went off to be taught by a separate teacher from the one that Marion had, so we could bring our knowledge together. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy knows who I am because he's giving me the answers of why I would have felt like this in the past. And it was just like a bit spooky, but really exciting. And so we use that particular strategy with our wise men and our wise women as well. It just tells you what type of person you are, what style of person you are, and more importantly, how you can use that information to be able to make decisions that are right for your type. I know it sounds like I'm talking about bloods and things like that, but it's nothing to do with blood. But it is kind of like your DNA of who you are. And a lot of it is unconscious until you get to around about 50. And so now I know that that's one of the reasons why a lot of things were changing for me at 48. But I'm sure you're the same as me, Kim. My mind is open. I'm a bit of a sponge at the minute. I'll take on anything and listen to anything, and then I'll make the decision whether or not it works for me. I mean, anything that I use with my clients, the only reason that I use it, because I'm big on integrity, is because it's worked for me. And more importantly, it's worked for other people that I know, have had been through that experience and now don't have that, problem or whatever it might be. So it comes from a place of like, I believe in this personally, and I know it's worked for X, Y, Z people that I know, and therefore I'll share the information. And I just think at the end of the day, the doctorate was absolutely amazing, and and to just for somebody to say, I think this person deserves to be acknowledged for what they've been doing, for helping people, was just really, it was just lovely. It was a really, really generous and heartwarming, very, very what's the word? Humbling experience, I suppose, really. There were a lot of fabulous people in that room, yourself included, Dr. Marina Nani and Dr. Dari, Dr. Wendy Snedden, who's got a great mission with regards to animals and people, to stop abuse against animals and people. Dr. Cecilia, who's looking at, out dementia. And all the other new people that we met, really lovely, bubbly, vibrant, people. Dr. Pauline Long is like freaking awesome. She's everywhere. And Dr. Honey, as I call him, because I can never say his right name, so he gave us permission to call him Honey. So Dr. Honey, who actually gave the award, the doctorates out, the awards out, it was just great. All those lovely new people. Great time dancing to Madonna at the Dorchester. What else? That's like a Madonna fan's dream, right? Apart from dancing with Madonna at the Dorchester, I suppose. But that's a whole different story, right?
I must admit, I just not dancing at the award ceremony.
No, I'm not even dancing while we were.
It was really warm, and it was an amazing room full of people.
And the one thing that really, and I think the essence of the evening was, look, we got honorary doctorates in the Academy of Universal Global Peace. And to just be in that room where everybody was coming from a place of love and a place of serving and just giving whatever they had to help, another human being. Outside of that room, wherever in the world, there's still, unfortunately, chaos and bitterness and jealousy and fighting and whatever. And do you know what? Being in that room just showed that, a lot of people can get together. They don't have to know each other, but what they have is, an intention. A lot of things in life can be bought, but I don't think you can buy a genuine desire to help other people. And for me, that room was perfect. Genuine people just wanting to help other people from a place of, of heart, really. And it was lovely. It was really, really lovely.
It was lovely.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yeah. No, it was a great pleasure to have you come on and talk to me. And I am aware that you've got to go and do some other things. So I am going to let you go. But one more before you go, just tell everybody how they can get in touch with you. Because I think it was a bit glitchy when you said it.
Yeah, so if people want to get in touch with me, if they want to get in touch with me to, to just find out how they can write a story, to get their message out there, or if they want to get in contact with me to help change the story that may be holding them back, whether that be addiction, phobia, fear, lack of confidence, something that they think is stopping them, maybe procrastination's massive and they want to get over that, then at this stage, if they just send me an email to Cheryl, Cheryl, at Cheryl-Chapman, Chapman.com. That will be fine. And then I'll send them a link and they can connect with me for a free 20-minute consultation. And then we'll see if we are able to move forward together. That'd be lovely. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Cheryl. It was lovely to talk to you. Enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of the summer. If I don't see you again, because there are no more Make the News until September, so I might not see you again before then. So it's probably a month before I see you again. So enjoy the rest of your summer, and to everybody out Thank you. It was lovely to share with you. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This has been Cheryl Chapman, Dr. Cheryl Chapman, speaking to me on my Forever Young show. And I'll speak to you again. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye, everybody. Bye.